Hello everyone. Cassandra Sullivan here with Revive Your Hope Coaching. I am your grief coach and I walk the journey with you through grief to help you come to a place of acceptance and reviving a hope for your future, finding joy and happiness in the now and bringing that honor of your loved one and yourself forward. So today's topic is going to be 5 things that are very hurtful to hear when you're in the midst of your grieving and things that you can replace those phrases with. So the first one that I want to touch on can be very hurtful to people, even though I know it's not meant to be that way. And it's, you can always have another baby. You can always try to get pregnant again. You can always remarry. You can always fill in the blank. It can be really hurtful because, yes, some of us can always just have another baby or get remarried, but it doesn't replace the child that we lost or the spouse that we lost. And it really hurts because it feels like they're not being acknowledged and they're just being forgotten, and that, oh, if I have another baby, it'll just replace that and I'll be okay. That's not what is going on, and it's very hurtful to hear from other people, even though it's coming from a place most likely of optimism and looking on the bright side and gratitude for being able to still reproduce or try again for another one, or remarrying another spouse. It is very hurtful. So another thing that you can say is, I'm sure you really miss your baby. What can I do to support you right now? And it's acknowledging the loss, it's acknowledging the hurt, and it's extending support and love to your friend or your family member who is experiencing loss. So my second one that I want to touch on is, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason that this happened to you. And it really sucks to hear that, 'cause it's like, okay, well, why? Why did my baby have to die? Why did my spouse have to have a heart attack? Why did my, cousin have to commit suicide? Why? What was the reason? And it can be really hurtful. That is one phrase that I wish just would go away. And so something that we can begin to replace that with is, I'm thinking of you and your lost loved one. I know that this must be hurtful and I wish it hadn't have happened to you. And you can even take that a little step further and say, how can I comfort you through this? What do you need? Just asking those questions on, how can I comfort you? How can I support you? What do you need? Just adds a little extra and shows them that, one, you've acknowledged their loss, you've acknowledged their pain, and you're there to support and love them. So the third one that I want to touch on today is, well, your life will get back to normal soon. Or someone had said this to me, you just need to get over it and keep moving. And although I did at the time slap a happy face on and continue moving forward, it was suppressing so much that it bubbled up and just exploded, almost a decade later. And I still had to face it and deal with it. So, negating the fact that someone is grieving and, is so sad and angry and, depressed at what has happened to them really hurts, really hurts. We want to begin to acknowledge what has happened, acknowledge the pain that they're in, and help support them through it. So something that you can, replace that with is just, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? And that opens the door for them to really open up and know that you're safe, and they can trust that they can be vulnerable with you and that you're going to be there to support them. So the fourth one I want to touch on is, don't be sad. Look at all the things that you have to be grateful for. Look at all these good blessings that you have in your life. Again, it negates the fact that they are hurting, and it really just brushes their pain to the side and brushes, the lost the loss that they've experienced and the lost loved one that is no longer here with them. So again, it's just all about validating and acknowledging where they are and what they're feeling and what they've experienced, because it sucks. And it really sucks to be pushed to the side or have your feelings pushed to the side. So something that you can begin to replace that with is, this must be very hard for you. I am here for you. This must be very hard, and I am here for you. So the fifth one that I want to touch on is, at least it happened early, or at least it happened quick. And a lot of times that can be referenced, in a miscarriage. At least it happened early in your pregnancy and not later. At least, it happened, quickly, like the heart attack took your loved one quickly, or the stroke, or the suicide, what they chose to do was quick. And again, it's just trying to skim over what really happened and pushing it to the side instead of just acknowledging that a miscarriage at 3 weeks is just as hard, or maybe not just as hard, but it's still freaking hard as a miscarriage at 20 weeks. And sometimes, even a miscarriage at 3 weeks, your body is still feeling the effects long after, the miscarriage has happened or taken place. And so we want to really be careful at dismissing pain and dismissing the loss and brushing over it with optimism. Instead, we want to really acknowledge where our friends and family are and validate their feelings. And though we may not understand what they're going through, we can still show up and support and love them through that and validate what they're feeling, because what they're feeling is real. It's not a figment of their imagination. Their sadness, their anger, their sorrow, their depression, it's real. It's not fake. The panic attacks, the anxiety, everything that comes with it. And so we really want to begin to show up with love and patience and support for that person, whether or not we understand, whether or not it's hard for us to watch them, if we can just show up for them. So that is today's video. If you have anything to add or any phrases that are hurtful and something that could be a little more helpful, share it below. I'd love to know what has been hurtful to you and what can be more helpful, because the more that we share and the more that we get out there, the more support people that are going through grief will have. And if it supports one person, we've done our job. So share below, comment below. I have my calendar open right now. I have 2 slots open, and I would love to have free 30 minutes with you and to help you if you're kind of stuck in your grief, to help you kind of figure out what the next step is. And whether or not that's with me or someone else or therapy or you name it, I just want to help get you there and to get you moving forward where you want to be. So hit me up, DM me, comment below, and I'll talk to you next week. All right, bye.